working side by side with him for a bit, and truly is a remarkable organization. But I'm glad I don't have to follow SKS, and you'll know why in just a minute. So I'm Jeff Ferry, and I'm a board member of MicroCred Nanchang. And we, unlike my colleagues here, we just started a few months ago. And before I actually get started, I do want to mention that you know about the recent situation in Sichuan. Well, it happens to be that our microfinance company is actually based in Nanchang, in Sichuan province, which was basically very close to the epicenter of the earthquake. So we're now in the process of trying to assess the situation, the damage actually to our building, our office building, and so everything has sort of been suspended while we try and assess the situation. So not only is it a startup, which is very challenging without any external factors, this makes it even more so now that we have the situation, but I'm happy to report that no one was seriously injured. So that's the main thing in terms of the staff, and as far as I know, our clients as well. But like I said, we're in the process now of trying to determine the extent of the damage and what impact, if any, it will have on our operation. So that said, let me start at the beginning, which is a very short history, so I can cover it very quickly. And I do want to keep my comments brief. MicroCred itself is only 2 years old. We are, some people think that we're part of Planet Finance. Planet Finance, you all may know about Planet Finance. Planet Finance was one of the founding shareholders of MicroCred, but we do have other shareholders, and Planet is an integral part of the institution, and they provide a lot of the technical assistance that we have in the greenfields that we set up around the world. But we do have other shareholders as well that complement the organization. So we were fortunate enough about a year ago to be invited to participate in a tender in China. The People's Bank of China opened up the opportunity to start up a microcredit company in several provinces of China. And so we were very eager to get into the Asian market, which we consider to be a real developing market for microfinance. And so we were able to submit a proposal and get started with this operation down in Sichuan province. As I said, it's one of the pilots that the PBOC has initiated in China. The process, the getting started, as you can well imagine, was like trailblazing. We were trying to create a lot of the documentation as we were going along with the other microfinance pilots that were being started in other parts of China, because there was no precedent. So the process took a little bit longer than we anticipated. I guess in our naivete, we thought we could get started very quickly. Some people considered that the 6 months that it took us to get started was actually fairly quick, but me on the ground up there, not speaking any Chinese, it was challenging, but nevertheless, persistence pays off in the end, and we finally got our license in September of 2007, which made us legit, and then we could actually begin to engage in our lending activities. MicroCred Nanchang is the first wholly foreign-owned microfinance company in China, so that's kind of neat for us, but it also shines a spotlight on us that everyone's watching to see how well we do. The operation began, as I just said, in September, October. We actually disbursed our first loan at the end of October, on the 24th of October. So in the last 7 or 8 months, we've been able to actually begin really developing our brand recognition and our development market niche for our company, which is also something that's very challenging in China, especially out in places like Sichuan, out in Nanchang, a city of about 700,000 people, where people are not real familiar with borrowing, and there's also a stigma associated with borrowing. It's sort of that save face thing, and so Chinese are incredible savers. They have a lot of savings, so oftentimes when they need resources to fund their business expansion, they'll use their own savings. So all of this is part of the startup process, educating the people about lending, that it's not a bad thing, that it can actually help them with their business development. And so one of the things we've been working with our loan officers is to provide them the skills and the training necessary to build the confidence in the borrowers that they can take a loan from us, that we're a legitimate company, and that we'll try and help them realize their goals and objectives as they develop their business. Let's see, so we have 7-8 months under our belt. We have about, unlike Motez and ABA that has 80,000 clients, we have 500. We're just getting started, as I said, but we're very happy with the initial success of the company. We're beating our projections, our business plan. Of course, we were being very conservative. Based on the market research, we found that only about 15 to 20% of the people had any prior credit experience. So we knew that despite the fact that people were expressing an interest in borrowing, because they lacked the experience, we knew it was going to be a slow process. But nevertheless, we have about 500 borrowers. Our portfolio at risk should be 0, and it is 0. So even over 0 days. We've only had a couple, very minor instances, 1 day late or 2 days late during the first several months. So I've been told by people that know China a lot better than I do that Chinese people are very dedicated to, they're responsible and committed to any obligation that they make, especially borrowing money, so that they'll, saving face again, that they will never go into default, or that won't be as common a problem as it is in other parts of the world and other countries. So I hope that's the case. We have about 500 clients. Outstanding portfolio is about 750,000 euro. So you can do the math. The average loan size is quite large, much larger than I would have ever expected. I worked most of my professional career has been in former Soviet Union, and even their loan sizes are larger. But here, the average loan size about 2,000 US dollars, $2,200 US dollars. That's for our microloan product. Right now, we only have one product. We're a one product shop, but we understand that eventually we're going to need to introduce new products because we all know that the clients have different needs, and so we're going to try and meet those needs, but we want to start simple before we get too complex. Part of that is also due to the fact that our loan officers are completely inexperienced in terms of microfinance. We've pulled some people from the banking sector, but again, it's a process that takes time. So we want to start simple, not get too complex. And so we have the one loan product now, which is the microloan product. Eventually, when we add the other products, the SME product, we go up market a bit. We will undoubtedly see our average loan size increase, maybe even up to 3,000 or 4,000 US dollars. So, in a nutshell, let's see. We have right now, it's a very small staff, and you can stop me if I talk too long. We have about 25 staff. Right now, we have 15 loan officers and 10 back office staff, and we're operating from one branch, but we're sort of using the spoke and wheel approach, and we're moving out the loan officers to work in a lot of different regions from the one office. Again, we want to keep the organization as simple as possible so that we can control risk and focus on training our staff, and at the same time service the clientele in the broadest way possible. Unlike Motez, in some of the statistics that he gave in ABA, we are finding about 75% of our clients are men and 25% are women. And we are we do have a gender sensitivity, and we are working with all clients. But it seems that the majority of the clients, the small business owners or micro business owners in China, a lot of them are men, as opposed to other countries where we see a larger number of women. So, yeah. Okay. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what I wanted to mention. There's obviously lots of things that we can discuss during the question and answer period, as well as when we do our answers to the questions that we've been given. So thank you.